Well, right now, we know that Governor Bruce Rauner is still an incumbent, and of course, Attorney General Lisa Madigan is still holding office, but we have a lot of strong candidates in both of those races, and here to break all that down for us is Vincent Casillas, who was former President Obama's Spanish press secretary. And Vince, I want to start with the governor's race. So we have three people running against Bruce Rauner.
Yes, so to put this into context, across the country, we're seeing a surge of Democratic candidates who are poised to really take over some of these governorship races. And so, case in point here in Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, about 2 years ago, announced his candidacy against the incumbent Bruce Rauner. Unfortunately, Bruce Rauner has faced a lot of challenges and obstacles, and in my opinion, it was that budget impasse for a couple of years that really hurt him. So right now, what we're seeing is a reflection of, I believe what we're seeing is what people are saying is, we've given you your chance, we've given you your shot. We're not with you on this time around, and we're going to take a look at J.B. Pritzker.
Yeah, and so now moving on to the AG race, that's also you have pretty big candidates in that race as well.
Yeah, so Senator Kwame Raoul, who's been a state senator for many years, went through a tough primary, but came out to represent the Democrats. Erica Harold, who really hasn't run for office, is the Republican candidate. The unique thing about this race is you have two African Americans. So that's something that the state of Illinois hasn't seen. But more than that, I think the race, when it first started, Kwame was up by quite a bit. He was the favorite. But as they both got on the campaign trail, Erica really started to surge a little bit. She had what I call likability, and people started to take notice of that. And so what we're seeing right now is those statistics are closing in. And so it's going to be a tight race.
Absolutely. Well, of course, we'll keep our eye on all of that. And as you can see, people are coming in to vote early this morning here in Pilsen. We're keeping a very close eye on the 6th and the 14th congressional district races. Here with me this morning is Vince Casillas, who served as former President Barack Obama's Spanish press secretary. Vince, let's kick this off with the 6th district. Why such a big deal over this?
Well, right now, the Republicans need 23 seats to take over the House. So every seat is important. So we have two races here in Illinois, the 6th district, one of them. Incumbent Peter Roskam, Republican, has been there, but he's got a challenger, Sean Casten. And so the reason it's important is because, one, Democrats, if they want to take over the House, they're going to need to take this seat. So we're going to definitely keep our eyes close on this race tonight. What's interesting about this race, though, is that if you look at the district, it actually covers 5 counties, including Cook. But it's a district that has been changing over the past decade. It was, kind of the collar counties around Chicago, and predominantly rural, very conservative. But what you've seen over the past decade is a mobilization of many families actually leaving Chicago and heading out to those suburbs. So you've got a corridor out there of new voters who are younger, a little bit more progressive, and so that's why you're seeing a race. And let's not forget, this seat was held by Henry Hyde, who had that seat for many, many years, and now there's a chance a Democrat might take over.
And that's something very important that we talked on and off camera about, this migration of different kinds of people moving into the suburbs. But of course, the 14th district is also another race that we're keeping a super close eye on. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have to chat about politics right now. But